Good morning, everyone. This is Faith&books. This is going to be the early spring edition because sometimes I talk about my garden on this channel. So you can hear the birds singing and my daffodils are blooming. And yesterday we went around and looked at the garden, and as you can see, the cherry tree is starting to bud, but I don't know what this is on the tree. I'm afraid I have to look that up. Why? This is the only tree that's got this on it, and I have trouble with fungus on my fruit trees, so I gotta figure out what to do with that. But look at that, it's budding. This tree gives us the most cherries, and the one behind it gives us some, and then the one over there never gives us anything. So we'll see. And then over here, this was my green stalk that I had last year. I had it down there in that bed at the very bottom of the hill there, and the wind blew it over and knocked everything out. It fell on a lot of my tomato plants and crushed them. And then we had a tree fall. You see over here where it's all open, there used to be a big tree there. You can see where it broke the fence. That also smashed my tomatoes. The tomatoes did not have a good year last year. But anyway, I'm thinking of doing, because we do get a lot of wind around here, and I think my house is especially situated where it gets wind. So I think I'm not going to make it as tall. I think I'm going to get this top thing. You need this to distribute the water, but you stack it up, fill it with dirt, and plant stuff in it. And I'm going to buy another one of those and turn it into two shorter green stalks. And I'm planning on growing alpine strawberries, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to try that. And also herbs and flowers. This year I'm really going to grow flowers because flowers make me happy. And also flowers can deter insects. So they actually can help, or they'll attract insects away from the things that you don't want the insects to eat. So I'm going to grow marigolds, nasturtiums, there was something else, zinnias, and sunflowers, which sunflowers I've grown before. And marigolds I've bought, just in at stores, already started and planted those. But this time I'm going to try and grow it myself. So yesterday I did some weeding. I have a lot of chickweed that's growing. You can see a pile of it here. That seems to be the #1 weed I've got. My back really hurts from this. Is chickweed. Now chickweed is from Asia, but it's naturalized, so it's not considered invasive. And you can actually feed it to your chickens, and you can eat it yourself if you want. But it is it's so fast growing. It just takes over everything. So it's a pain. You can see the chickweed in this bed. This bed I tried to grow legumes, like as a cover crop. Well, just as an experiment to see if I could build up the soil, and nothing came up except chickweed. So that didn't work. Yeah. So yesterday I was really trying to weed a lot, and my back really hurts this morning. So I'm going to ask my son to just give me a half an hour in the garden here because he could finish it up easily. I'm so slow. It's annoying that I have so much I want to get done, and yet I just can't do it physically. It's very annoying. But I forgot I had planted garlic. So I've got garlic all around the sides here on this bed. And then I've got some over here as well. And look, some lettuce survived the winter there. I think over here there's some arugula that survived. But I noticed I have a new weed, field mustard, which is an invasive species. So that's a new one today. For this year. I hadn't noticed that before. Anyway, what I want to do today is clean up these beds and get them ready for planting. Now, our last frost is actually April 30th. That's the farmer's almanac, but we're having some really warm weather right now. So, I don't know what's going to happen. Let me show you my peach trees. They're also blooming. You can see the squirrels just make all these holes in the mulch. Yeah, look at my peach trees. Now my peach trees last year, they were just attacked by this fungus. So I'm really gonna have to focus on tree care. I just didn't do enough. So you can see this weird sap. That's not normal. Something's wrong with that. So even though this tree looks healthy, it seems vulnerable to some kind of fungus. So I gotta take care of that too. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm going to, oh, this is so funny. My neighbor's got one of those, what do they call it? Bokachi or something, composting. They have a little composter out there. But the funny thing is, they're always spraying their lawns and spraying the trees for mosquitoes. They're just toxic. Their yards so toxic that they have this tiny little garden and they're gonna compost. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I really resent how toxic they are right next to me when I'm trying to be all organic. Okay, so this is, they probably resent me because my lawn isn't pristine. It's full of weeds, but I don't care. This was my strawberry patch, and it was so prolific last year. But as you can see, so you can see all that white stuff, that is Japanese stilt grass, which is an invasive species. And there's something else growing up in there too. But so what I'm going to do, it was prolific last year, but it's on the decline. So I'm going to just harvest whatever berries I can from this patch, and then I'm going to mow it down because I got to get rid of this Japanese stilt grass. It's just absolutely horrible, and it will take over the whole garden. And I'm going to just mow it down, cover it with cardboard, mulch it, and then I'm going to put raised beds in here because this is what caused my back problems last summer, and I was in agony for weeks last summer. I had to go to 6 weeks, twice a week physical therapy. So I just can't get down on the ground this low anymore. I'm getting older. I'm going to be 62 next month, and my back, both my neck and my lower back have issues. So I just can't do it. I'm going to have to start thinking in terms of gardening for people with bad backs. So yeah, so that's one reason why I'm excited about the alpine strawberries. And I'm just going to start over again with these strawberries. I'm going to see what they give us this year, and then I'm going to just have a whole new plan on how to grow strawberries because we absolutely love strawberries. Fresh strawberries are just they're up there with fresh tomatoes from your garden. They're just absolutely heavenly. So I want them. But I love all my daffodils. Yeah, I have an older sister who's really having some bad health problems. I went to visit her this week, and I brought her some daffodils from my garden, and it really touched her. She was really pleased with it. So yeah, daffodils are good. I want to plant more in my front yard. So yeah, that's just a little I don't know, preview or whatever, just my thoughts on everything. Looks pretty dead still. That Chinese chestnut way in the bottom of the garden has never done anything. It's just not growing well. These bushes up here are aronia berries. Yeah, I'll go over to the other side of the yard. One of these beds, I think maybe the bottom bed, I'm gonna make I'm going to experiment and do the Three Sisters, the Native American plantings. So it's going to be corn. I got sweet corn, and I got squash. I'm going to try some summer squash and some butternut squash. And then I just realized that I didn't have beans. I've never grown beans before, so I'm not a big bean eater. I mean, I am, but not that much. So I'm going to grow pole beans. So I just ordered some last night because I realized I didn't have it together. But all that stuff, corn you have to plant when it's warm, when the soil is warm. So it's too early for corn anyway. Any of those things, they're summer into fall crops, right? So so apparently what you do is you plant the corn first. When it starts to grow, when it's about knee-high, you put in your bean plants. And when they've grown a little bit, then you plant your squash. And the beans go use the corn stalks as their trellis, and the squash is supposed to cover the ground and keep it nice and moist for the corn and the beans. So yeah, so that's gonna be a fun experiment this year. And oh yeah, I planted lettuce here yesterday, so hopefully we'll get some nice fresh lettuces to come out and eat. You can just cut them, just take what you need. You don't have to dig up the lettuce or anything, harvest the whole thing. Oh, and this is my blackberry plant. Can you even see it in here? That's my blackberry plant, and it was very small last year. It's gotten bigger, and I need to trellis it. So that's another little project. I have to put a trellis up right here, and train it to grow up the trellis. So yeah, we took out the strawberry. There was another strawberry patch here, and we took that out. And these are more aronia berries, but I think they're aronia berries. Yeah. So let me walk over here in my messy yard. And this is a new thing. We put up a pen. We have a run for the chickens. Now I haven't fed them yet. We lost another chicken, so we only have 2. But I tell you, these are the 2 nicest chickens. They're just so nice. Hello. And they have been giving me eggs every day, so I'm getting 14 eggs a week from them. So I gotta clean up that area though. It's just so junky looking. Oh, it's really bad. During the winter, I just go out and do things really quickly. I'm so lazy. I don't clean up after myself. It's very bad. I'm gonna get rid of this weed maybe today. This is mile a minute weed. It's another invasive species. It's dead now, so I think it's gonna be easy to pull, but it's got little thorns in it. It's really nasty. This wood pile is falling apart, and I wish my husband would do something about it. This is another not very happy chestnut tree. Look, these are the pawpaw trees that we planted last year. They're starting to bud. That's exciting. Yeah, and then these are the blueberry. We planted a whole bunch of blueberry here. I didn't get any blueberries from here. Every time it would start to ripen, something would eat it. I think the birds. So I got to think about how I'm going to defend my blueberries from the birds. So that's exciting. Let's see what other we've got. Oh, there's a woodpecker. You hear that? It's so junky looking back here. Sorry, I'm embarrassed. But this is my, what is this tree? This is I think it's a plum. We've never gotten anything from it, but look, that looks good. That looks hopeful. There's some buds coming on there. It's hard to know what you're growing. This is apple. We're actually getting some apple. We've been trying to grow apple trees. That's my husband's dream, is to have fresh apples from his own apple trees. And we've never been able to do it. I think where we're planting it, maybe there's a black walnut like roots maybe that are preventing growth. And oops, sorry. And the tree and the deer, and maybe not quite enough light. I don't know. This one doesn't look like it's doing much either. Is it doing anything? I can't tell. This one looks pretty good. Anyway, so I think that's all I'll tell you about. We haven't gotten much further. So, and it's early in the season. This is our fort that my husband built. He hurt his back building it, but it's the kids love to play with it, and the neighborhood kids come and play there too. So they've been decorating it with chalk. All right, so I think I'll close with that. Here, I'll do a close-up of some. Gotta get rid of these little orange flags. Yeah, there's my beautiful daffodil.